This is grade 8, chapter 4, part 2, fractions, decimals, and percents. So as we get working through this, how are percents related to fractions and decimals? So what fraction of this figure is shaded? We've got 4, 8, 9. We've got 9 out of 20 total shapes. So 9 out of 20. So what fraction of this figure is shaded is 9 out of 20. Rewrite your fraction with a denominator of 100. So if we want this as 100, we have to multiply by 5, which means we're going to multiply this side by 5 as well, which equals 45. Sorry, that's a 40. Which equals 40. Son of a nutcracker. 45 out of 100. So express this fraction as a decimal. When we take 9 over 20, we know that this right here equals divide. So 9 divided by 20 equals 0.45. We know that 45 divided by 100 equals 0.45. So that's the decimal part right here. What percent of this figure is shaded? We're going to have to multiply this decimal by 100. So the percent is 45%. Now there's a lot of information on this board, but let's go through it. So how are the decimal percent fraction representation of the number the same? How are they different? If you have 7 out of 10, that's a fraction right there. That would equal, because again, the line means divide, that would equal 0.7 as a decimal, which also equals 70%, because when we multiply it by 100, or move the decimal places 2 times, we get 70%. So they're the same amount, but they look very different depending on what you're trying to represent. So which representations you prefer to work with and why? It's depending on what you're working with and why. If you want to know how many questions you got wrong on a test, you'd like to know that. If you're talking about how to use it in math and how to convert it, you need to use the decimal. And then as a percent overall, when you're looking at 6 over 9, you want to know that 66%, so it's just a little bit easier to use the percent as opposed to a fraction sometimes. So to convert the fraction to decimal percentage, so to do this we have to, again, this means divide. So we're going to divide 1 by 20, which equals 0.05 as a decimal. When we multiply that by 100, we get, or we move it 2 decimal places, 1, 2, we get 5%. So we know that 1/20th equals 5%. 71 divided by 200 equals 0.355 as a decimal. When we multiply that by 100, we move it over 2 spots, and we get 35.5%. So convert the decimal, convert each decimal to a percent and to a fraction. So to convert the decimal to a percent, we multiply it by 100. So we're going to move this 2 spots. So 0.0032 equals 0.32%. As a fraction, we have to count tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So it's 0.0032 over 10000. And then we can put that down to lowest form. So 16 over 5,000, which equals 8 over 250, which equals 4 over 125. Or sorry, 1250. So that's the fraction that we're dealing with right there. We can go there further. 2 over 675. So that's the fraction that we're dealing with 0.0032%. To do this on your own, I would really suggest that you pause this and do this on your own just to make sure that you know how to do it. But as a percent, multiply 100 equals 12.5%. And as a fraction, you've got 125 over 1,000 because there's 10 100,000 spaces. 3 spaces equals 3 zeros. That's how you know, 3 zeros. So it's 125 over 1,000. It goes to a further place divided by 25 divided by 5 is, so it's 20, 25 divided by is equals 1 over 8. So lowest terms equals 1 over 8. As we do 3.26, again, to multiply by 100 equals 326%. So when we do this, this is a little bit trickier. We have tens, hundreds. There's 2 spots, which equals 2 zeros. So we put this over 100, which means 326 over 100. Which equals 3 and 26 over 100, which equals 3 and 13 over 50. And we know that 13 is prime, so it's 3 and 13/50ths. Convert percent to fractions and decimals. So this has an extra added step to it. It's a little bit tricky. 100, we need to divide this because it's a percent. We need to divide this by 100. Because we're going from fractions to decimals. So the decimal is 1.6% or as a decimal. We know that there's 1 here, so we put this 16 over 10. That as a fraction or as a is 1 3/5. So we take the 1 out, we divide by, I'll show you this step here a little bit further if you want, skip ahead, but it's 1 6/10, which equals 1 3/5 because you divide by 2. 0.35 divide by 100 equals 0.0035. We move it 2 times, right? That's what happens here. So when we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I make a mistake on that last one? No, I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that it's going to be over 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 35 over 1,000. You guys can put that into lowest terms. 25 3/5. Now we're getting into fractions in percents. This is, deep level. We're starting to get there. We have 25 and 3 divided by 5 equals 0.6. So 25, 3 divided by equals 0.6. So 25 plus 0.6 equals 25.6. So now that we have it as a percent without fractions, we can divide this by 100, which equals 0.256 as a decimal. When we put that over, we know that that's 256 over 1 with 3 zeros because there are 3 spaces here. So again, I'm not going to put it into lowest terms, but that needs to be in lowest terms. Express each percent as a decimal and a fraction. So this is something you can do before you go on, just as an extra work. Okay? Those as well. Your questions will be in the back. If you have any questions, come see me. Good luck. Thank you.